inguinal hernia. Now, what I want to talk about with the inguinal hernia is something kind of important. This part is the hernia, okay? This part here, right here, is the inguinal canal. You'll notice in your lab manual, there's an inguinal canal. I wrote everything down in my lab manual, and I'm going to go over it with you. Inguinal canal. Through the inguinal canal, normally would not be this hernia, but it'd be the spermatic cord. In other words, the spermatic cord that is coming up, and there'll be somewhere in this area an external ring, goes through the inguinal canal, comes out at an internal ring. The vas goes right next to the bladder and comes down here. This is the ureter, and this is the vas. This is the seminal vesicle, the first of the accessory glands in the male. Okay, and then the inguinal canal will be in here. What's happened in this structure is that there's been a weakening of the internal and external rings. It's whitened up. And so along with the structure of the vas, which is represented by these blood vessels in here, you see, here is the, it's hard to show it, but here is the vas deferens, here is the arterial and the venous supply. So this would be part of the spermatic cord. But because the external ring and the internal ring up here have become weakened, then a part of the intestine through there. And so that's what we have to do when a guy comes in and says, I got a lump here in my groin and it hurts. And I push on it and it pops back in, but then it comes right back out. So I have to go in, get into the abdomen, open this up, and stuff everything back up in here and tighten the internal ring, tighten the external ring, but not too tight that I don't compromise the blood supply. And you kind of learn that from experience, and my pinky comes in handy with that. Okay, that's enough room, and go from there. Okay? The other important thing I want you to understand is this is the inguinal canal. It is formed by the aponeurosis, or the epimysium, of the external oblique abdominal muscle. So that aponeurosis comes down and folds on itself and makes a tunnel. And this part of, and of course, with that, there's a thickening of that. It's called the inguinal ligament. And that inguinal ligament attaches to the anterior inferior iliac spine of the ilium and the pubic symphysis of the pubis. And of course, there'll be sort of a dense connective tissue, and then the rest of this will be the thin canal. Okay? And so that's just how you attach the canal so that it's, you know, in that position so that the vas can go through the external ring, travel through the canal, come out the internal ring. Okay, so external ring is where the vas, or where the vas deferens that is in the spermatic cord enters. That's how it gets from the outside to the inside. Okay, in other words, it gets from the outside, and then you superimpose this on here. So somewhere in this region would be the inguinal canal with its associated inguinal ligament, and it comes through, and then the internal ring would be here, and that's how the vas deferens gets from the outside into the inside. Okay? Because see, the testes is already on the outside, so somehow we got to get the spermatozoa into the inside so we can go through the accessory glands and the duct system, that is the ejaculatory duct, the prostatic urethra, the membranous urethra, and the penile urethra, and out to the external. Okay? So we have to get it on the inside, can't do it on the outside. Okay, so look at these models, and I'll put off the microscope, so don't do the microscope until the next time we meet, and then I can start off with the microscopes and some more of those slides, and we'll talk about the breath, because I have the breath model over there too. Okay, so